want cruelty to beget cruelty. You're not superior to any race who was cruel to you. You're just a whole bunch of a new cruel species. A whole bunch of new cruel people being cruel to some other people who'll end up being cruel to you. The only way anyone can live in peace is if they're willing to forgive. Why don't you break the cycle? What is it that you actually want? Ah, and when this war is over, Joseph, when you have the homeland free from humans, which, let me point out, you will be one in this Dalek-torn Earth, what do you think it's going to be like? Do you know? Have you thought about it? Have you given it any consideration? Because you're very close to getting what you want. What's it going to be like? Paint me a picture. Are you going to live in houses? Do you want people to go to work? Will there be holidays? Oh, will there be music? Do you think people will be allowed to play violins? Who will make the violins? Well, Oh, you don't actually know, do you? Because just like every other tantruming child in history, Joseph, you don't actually know what you want. So let me ask you a question about this brave new world of yours. When you've killed all the bad guys and it's all perfect and just and fair, when you have finally got it exactly the way you want it, what are you going to do with the people like you? The rebels. How are you going to protect your glorious revolution from the next one? Oh, will you? Well, maybe. Maybe you will win. But let me tell you this. Nobody wins for long. The wheel just keeps turning. So come on, break the cycle. Because I'm trying to get you to see, and I'm almost there. And we're off! Fingers on buzzers! Are you feeling lucky? Are you ready to play the game? Who's gonna be quickest? Who's gonna be the luckiest? No, it's not a game, sweetheart, and I mean that most sincerely. Because it's not a game, Kate! This is a scale model of war. Every war ever fought right there in front of you. Because it's always the same. When you fire that first shot, no matter how right you feel, you have no idea who's going to die. You don't know whose children are going to scream and burn. How many hearts will be broken? How many lives shattered? How much blood will spill until everybody does what they're always going to have to do from the very beginning? Sit down and talk! Listen to me. Listen. I just want you to think. Do you know what thinking is? It's just a fancy word for changing your mind. And you will die, stupid. Alternatively, you could step away from that box. You could walk right out of that door. And you could stand your revolution down. You're all the same, you screaming kids. You know that? Look at me. I'm unforgivable. Well, here's the unforeseeable. I forgive you. After all you've done, I forgive you. I don't understand? Are you kidding? Me? Of course I understand. I mean, do you call this a war? This silly little thing? This is not a war! I fought in a bigger war than you will ever know! I did worse things than you could ever imagine, and when I close my eyes, I hear more screams than anyone could ever be able to count. And do you know what you do with all that pain? Do you want me to tell you where you put it? You hold it tight, till it burns your hand. And you say this: no one else will ever have to live like this. No one else will ever feel this pain. Not on my watch. Thank you. Thank you. I know. I know. Thank you. Well, of course. But you know how you know that? Because you've started to think like me. It's hell, isn't it? No one should have to think like that. And no one will. Not on our watch. Gotcha. Because you have a disadvantage, Captain Lang. I know that face. No. Well, you said that the last 15 times. No, just Kate's. Oh, and your little friends here, of course. When they wake up, they won't remember what you've done. It'll be our secret. Because I've been where you have. There was another box. I was going to press another button. I was going to wipe out all of my own kind, man, woman, and child. I was so sure I was right. Same thing that happened to you. I let Clara Oswald get inside my head. Trust me, she doesn't leave.